What? Bang!
Whoa! Wrestling podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep, screw, rep.
Yeah.
Woo! Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it? Oh, kick out. Unbelievable.
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am the Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for. It's me, Austin. I will never retire. Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Fro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Hey, look, are you sick and tired of dropping a crap ton of money every year on the latest and greatest wrestling video game? You gotta stop, man. Put that cash back in your pocket. Grab Wrestler Unstoppable, available totally free. Go to app.wrestlerunstoppable.com where you can create a wrestler, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, build your own company. Everything from the championships to the divisions, all of it. All included, totally free in Wrestler Unstoppable. Again, go to app.wrestlerunstoppable.com. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, what's your name in the shoutouts like John down in Texas, then you got to pop by our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. This month, exclusive loyalty rewards. If you are a $10 a month contributor, you get to co-host a show with me. $5 a month contributors get entered into a drawing to also have one of those, host an episode with myself. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Fro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, something you want me to talk about that I haven't covered already in a future episode, you got to let me know by calling me at the Fro Wrestling Sound Off line 267-642-1160, and I will get to those questions, comments, and concerns in a future episode. This episode is going to be somewhat different. This is so many different tidbits from around the wrestling world, and we want to make sure we cover everything. I hate it when stories just slip through the cracks because we focus so much on these huge stories. You know, Nick Aldis appears and costs Gunther. That's great. What about the other stuff that happened throughout the day that had nothing to do with the main event of Saturday Night's Main Event? So let's get into it. TNA is looking to hire former WWE NXT tag team High Rise. High Rise, look, they aligned themselves with Wes Lee for a little while, really got some good TV exposure time. They were part of the talent cuts a few months back, and they would come on the cheap. I hate to say it that way for TNA. That's not like there's world beaters beating down the door to get these guys signed. So this is an opportunity to get a very lucrative deal done with an established tag team that are pretty solid performers. And hopefully they go in there, they kill it, reinvent themselves, build up their credibility, and get that big payday going to either AEW or WWE after some time in TNA. I'd be okay with any of it. I think they're both very, very valuable and worth the investment. Logan Paul, I mean, he's in the news today for a lot of reasons. Obviously, the Tom Brady stuff is interesting, but he also was doing an interview and talked about how long he's going to be doing this. How long is he going to be a pro wrestler? And he was very clear. At least 5 years as a full-time active participant, which is shocking for some people because everybody's given this guy so much of a hard time since he got to WWE, but he has done nothing but exceed expectations the entire time. If he legitimately is staying 5 years, I'm saying it here, I'll say it now. He deserves at some point in time to be World Heavyweight Champion or the WWE Champion. I don't care which. The guy's phenomenal in the ring. He does great work. And he even went further and said he could see himself saying 10 to 15 years depending on how things go down. How crazy is it that we everybody gave him such a hard time as a social media influencer? Oh, this guy's not a real wrestler or whatever. I think he both, whether it's you're thinking about the way he's enhanced his body through very difficult training programs, to his match quality increasing, to his regular appearing on television, despite having a very serious injury. I mean, let's be honest. Every other member of the Vision has gotten hurt and they disappear for months on end. Logan has one of the more serious injuries and he's there every week anyways. I got mad respect for this guy right now. I don't want to hear about all the horrible stuff he did when he was younger. He was young and stupid, and I'm not justifying any of it. Some of it's horrible and heinous, but at the end of the day, when it comes to wrestling, the guy is a valuable asset to WWE. I hope he continues to do that. Just like Hiromu Takahashi, who's coming in, and the word broke earlier in the week that Nox Raijin, the name that WWE had patented and everything earlier in the week, was going to be used for somebody coming in. And now at this point, it seems all but a foregone conclusion that Hiromu Takahashi is coming in. Should be another very solid addition to the NXT roster, I would imagine first. Former New Japan Pro Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Champion, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. The guy could do it all. He could work any space, any style, any size opponent. He will be very exciting to see in NXT. I thought it was interesting. There was a story this week down in Florida that AEW has been dealing with a contract issue with Ryan Nemeth for quite a while now. And a Florida judge has deemed that AEW is not allowed to seal their contracts. They can be redacted, but then they can be challenged on their redactions. And I know this may seem like such a silly thing, but people have often wondered, like when AEW first was brought out, one of the bragging points about AEW was, health insurance for their talent, regular schedules, all sorts of like benefits that you don't typically get. Medical, dental, vision, all that, life insurance, all that stuff. And then you don't really talk about that as much anymore. What do the no-compete clauses look like? What do the justifiable terminations look like? All that stuff is going to be able to be seen now if there is a legal thing. And this is all thanks to Ryan Nemeth, who had issues with AEW when he was there for the short period of time that he was there. Interesting stuff. I think one step in the right direction. If these guys truly are independent contractors, then you could sign a contract with somebody to do a job for them. That does not mean you can't take other jobs in any profession other than professional wrestling. Now, I get it. If you sign a contract in and it says, I agree to not appear for anybody else but this company, that's an interesting layer to it. I hope they get over that, move on someday, so we can see some crazy matches. Gotta talk about Jey Uso. He was pulled from his Fanatics Fest New York City appearances today. No excuse was given. Same thing happened with Randy Orton. Also was pulled from his with no explanation, which oddly, Randy Orton was featured as somebody was walking into the building. Right now, off the top of my head, I'm forgetting who it was. Somebody was walking into the building to start Saturday night's main event, and Randy Orton was there. He was in the background, in the peripheral. Same kind of situation here. Jey Uso getting pulled, just like Randy Orton got pulled. No explanation. Now, I know he's going through a lot. His wife filing for divorce and everything. Maybe it has something to do with that. But I'm really hoping that he finds a way to channel whatever home stressors are going on in a positive light and can move forward. A lot of rumors floating out there about whether he's with or not with Jada Parker and stuff like that. His response on X about that was not overwhelmingly convincing to make us believe that he's not. So maybe he is. So we'll have to wait and see. But interesting that another talent was pulled from those appearances. Let's get into the next piece. Roman Reigns. We talked earlier about Logan Paul. Roman Reigns gave us an idea about his retirement plan. He's got 3 more years of doing this for sure, but he said maybe like later on he's actually compared his potential for wrestling much longer to The Undertaker. Talked about how The Undertaker went like another 10 years with like really limited appearances and that was something he could do. And depending on what the schedule is and how he feels, right now he said he feels like he's still in his prime. He's at the top of his game. 3 years is at least what we're going to get. I'll be curious to see how that plays out over time, especially with the influx of other people from the family, Zilla Fatu coming in, all the stuff he still has to do with other people in the family. Might be very interesting. I would, there's other members that haven't even been talked about yet that could still show up. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Some heartwarming news I saw tonight. AJ Styles' son, Avery Styles, is going to be teaming up with CJ Gallows. And if you don't know who that is, that would be Doc Gallows' son. And they are the Sons of the Club. And they're going to be performing together. What a cool thing. AJ Styles, I can't imagine as a father, if for AJ Styles to see his son go into the same vocation, the same field of endeavor that he went into, and in such a short period of time. If you go online, you can see his first match. He looked great. He looked, and I'll use the pun, he looked phenomenal. And it was awesome to see. He's taken to it like a fish to water. I really love it. And I love the fact that CJ Gallows is getting involved. CJ Gallows just recently signed with MLW. Doc Gallows announced that as well. And while I'm on that topic, by the way, I want to stick with MLW for a second because tonight they really confused a lot of people. MLW Fusion was on tonight, and they were doing an episode of Fantastic Mania USA, which basically the reason it confused people is there was a tag team match where the World Tag Team Champions, where the Skyscrapers were defending against Gallows and Anderson, all that kind of stuff. And there was at the beginning of the match, the reason the new Skyscrapers are the new Skyscrapers is because Bishop Dyer was leaving to go to WWE, so they took him out of the group and gave his tag team championship to another partner. Well, tonight, he came back out with them. And they're like, well, wait a minute, he went back to WWE. And people online, myself included, was a little confused at first. I just did a little research to figure it out, but some people don't do that. Some people are like, oh my gosh, does this mean there's a working agreement between MLW and WWE? No, there is not. If you look into it, this episode of Fusion was recorded all the way back on April 12th. And it's just now making it to television. Now, there is a storyline that they're doing with them on these episodes where he's negotiating a contract and he wants big, big money and blah, blah, blah. And of course, it's going to lead to where, he's going to reject their final offer and that's when he's going to go to WWE. But so many people got so excited when they saw this, thinking that it meant that he was able to work both, which actually would be wonderful. But keep in mind, MLW sued WWE a few years back. There's a whole thing with Stephanie McMahon and everything about trying to be a monopoly and put wrenches in the deals they were making with streaming services and whatnot. So I don't know that they're going to be best friends anytime soon, but how cool would it be to get their product onto like the network, I won't say the network, but like onto WWE programming, where they house all the other things that they put out in digital format. Very interesting stuff. Definitely had some people talking. I saw my one of my favorite shows, Wrestle Talk News, had posted about it, and I put up a post. I said, this was taped on April 14th. I don't think I've ever got so many people to like my post before. I don't do a lot of X stuff. I did it only tonight because of Saturday night's main event, and I saw that, and I thought, wow, I better help clear this up. But interesting stuff for sure. And last thing tonight, Big E claims that he was supposed to regain the WWE Championship. He was supposed to lose it to Rollins, then regain it at WrestleMania. And then when Brock Lesnar came in back at day 1, 2022, he ended up coming in. They added him to the match. He ended up losing championship to Lashley. Then Lashley lost it back to Lesnar at the Elimination Chamber and whatnot. And then at Mania 38, Brock lost it to Roman Reigns. And it just never got a chance to get back to Big E because that's right when Big E ended up getting hurt. I have no doubt Big E's one of the most honest people in the business, so I have no doubt with anything in his story. My issue is it just shows you how quickly WWE, especially under Vince McMahon, would change direction, change up what they're doing, because you could see in his booking, the match where he ended up getting his neck broken by Richard, what's his name? Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank on this name right now? It's not Richard Holiday, that's the guy coming to WWE right now. Ridge Holland, wow. That was crazy. When he got his neck broken by Ridge Holland, it was pretty clear that they were kind of pushing him back into the tag team world, which clearly had to have been done because they had moved on from the idea of him facing Seth. I would have liked to have seen the Seth Rollins Big E match at Mania. I think that would have been a really great match, and it could have really set Big E up for the long term. Really a shame. So many things we didn't get to see with him. He was really just starting to hit his stride as like a top tier talent, and then it all comes crashing down. Sad stuff. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. Run down to wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks as always to Suno for creating the music and sound effects we use in our show. If you want to bring a new friend to family game night to have a blast with your buddies, then grab a copy of Sketchy People at thegamecrafter.com, where you get to showcase your artistic side in this new game from Beezle Games. It is a great barrel of laughs. It's kind of like a cross between Pictionary and Chutes and Ladders. Check it out today. Grab your copy at thegamecrafter.com of Sketchy People by Beezle Games. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro-Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro-Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us today. Until next time, everybody, take care. Have a great one.